So now I had put a post up bragging about her daddy. But I told him I needed some money for some groceries. And he decided to deliver the stuff, pick what he wanna pick and have it delivered himself. Come here, come back here. You come back here. Leave him alone. Come back here. He instead of sending me the money, he didn't had the groceries delivered. You don't know what my kids want. You don't know what my kids like. That's me. You buying stuff off of what you like, and because I told him, I needed tissue and I was out and I needed some groceries, and he done went shopping online and had some groceries delivered. That ain't what I wanted. I wanted you to send me the money so I could shop my own self. So me and my kids could eat what we want to eat, not what you want, the stuff you like. This was not it. Shit, I'm not happy about this shit.
Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. Oh, let me make sure you guys can hear me. Make sure you guys can hear me. Something's going on with my stream deck. Struggle streaming already. Type ones if you can hear me. Let me go to the comments. Type some ones. Let me make sure you guys can hear me. Type ones before we get going. Make sure somebody types a one. I won't be long tonight. A lot going on right now. I just want to make sure you guys can hear me. Just somebody type one so I can make sure you hear me. I'm seeing a reading, but if you can't hear me, I'm pretty sure you were saying. So I'll leave this up. Anyway, it's been a crazy week. Yeah, the crazy thing about life, it always brings things to perspective. You think you got a lot of time here. We tend to live day by day, like, oh, tomorrow, tomorrow, tomorrow. And you got to understand, tomorrow's not promised. So, one lesson that I've been trying to grasp even more and more now is to make sure that I'm being more involved in family functions. I saw my family today for a very unfortunate reason. We buried a family member that was very true and, man, to us. I mean, she's been a pillar for us for so long, and it's crazy. You take that stuff for granted sometimes. And seeing my family, and I have a very large family. I have a really big family. I mean, I know some of you who have big families. You know when you're going to the burial or whatever, and the police are stopping, and you get to run through lights, and everybody's just like, "Oh my God." That is my family. It's really, really big family. And it was sad to see them under this circumstance, but it was good to see a lot of them I haven't seen. I met new family members, new children, and everything else. And I'm trying to do better at not taking that stuff for granted because, it can be very, very, man, traumatic when you lose somebody and you like, oh my God, I should have reached out to them or whatever. So it was great to see my family, even under this bad circumstances. But I'm here. I'm here to do a show. This topic has been going around, and I said, okay, I'm gonna talk about it or whatever. If you've been noticing, the first video was crazy, was sent to me by a friend of mine, and it's crazy that she first off says, "Oh, I was celebrating him or I was just giving him his props." So basically, I'm alluding to that. And then she turns around and starts to drag him because he buys groceries and he doesn't give her money for whatever she wanted. And I saw this and I was like, man, is this where we are right now where a man can't go out and buy groceries? And I'm sure he didn't buy everything that he would like. I'm pretty sure there was some food in there, your basic needs, chicken, juice, whatever, meats, vegetables, and stuff like that that you could actually cook. But she decided to get online. Here's where she's dumb. If he should go into court with this video that you posted, I'm hoping that this is one of the many videos that people post just for attention. Because if it's not, it's a problem. But if you posted this video and he should go into court and say, look, Your Honor, I've been doing for my child, and she's been using the money for whatever she wants to use it for, that could be a bit of a problem. I'm just thinking that could be a bit of a problem. That could be a bit of a problem. I think that's why it's important for both men and women to be sure of who you have children with. That goes for all of us. And I think the people you should have children with bear your last name as men. Your wife. You should have children with your wife. Don't be out here popping out kids with women, and women. You should be popping out kids for men that you know you don't get along with and you know you're going to have problems with, because it's going to turn into an issue. And guess who suffers? Not you, not the baby daddy, the children. And I think that's something we just lose sight of. So many kids being popped out here, and trust me, I work in childcare. I see some of everything. And then just today it was a situation that I won't speak about, but it was a situation. I'm like, wow, this stuff really goes on. And me seeing that side of it, I'm saying, make sure you having children with people you are married to, because that could be, well, marriages don't last. I get it. But at least, man, just solve this one little problem, the baby daddy, baby mama situation. But speaking of baby daddy's baby mama, y'all, I wasn't even gonna talk about this, but it's been sent to me so many times, and I said, okay, good Lord, okay. So apparently your girl, Kiki Palmer, had a birthday over the weekend, and people saw the picture of her and her baby daddy together, and they automatically assumed that they were back together and everybody should shut up and talk about their relationship. Let me explain this to you in the easiest way possible. Just because you see two adults together, they may be friends. Everybody that has children together, it may not work out together as far as a relationship. It may not work out. That doesn't mean we're going to be Hatfields and McCoys. We're not going to be enemies and just go ravishing and just destroying stuff. Sometimes, and I agree, it should happen all the time, you are friends, you're cordial. So how do we know this is not that? Because one of the things that he had an issue with, along with going out to drinks with her baby dad, I think they were out as friends. Whether they together or not, I just find it hard to believe, because he made such an uproar of the last situation. So being as though this happened, not that happened, but this happened, she posts these pictures. I'm pretty sure, based off of what he said before, he would have an issue. And this, I'm sure he would have an issue with that. I'm almost positive he would have an issue with this. Maybe they just went out as friends. And here's the thing that people say, maybe you should mind your own business. Here's the problem. They posted it for us to see. And if this idiot, I'm not calling you idiot, bro. Bro code, not an idiot. But if you took this woman back after all this situation, she allowed these people to drag you. She took part of the dragging, had a show and said F these ninjas and everything else. Then turned around and did a video with Usher talking about boyfriend. If you should take this woman back after all of that, I'm going to light you up myself. I'm going to light you up myself, because that's crazy. That's the ultimate form of disrespect. I'm going to do what I want. You're going to shut the falcon up, and I'm going to do it anyway. But me, I'm thinking they went out as friends. I think they just hung out, had a good time, as you should. This is the mother of your child. There's absolutely nothing wrong, especially if he's not. Now, let me ask this question. If you were a woman, you were in a relationship or you were dating this man, right? And you saw that he took a picture out with his baby mama having drinks, would you be upset with that? Would you be upset with that? That's my question. I think that's a very, very valid question. What up, Alex? I think that's a valid question. If you were, or let's say the shoe on the other foot, you the baby daddy or you the new boyfriend, and you see her out having drinks with her baby daddy, how would you feel about it? Me personally, I would be like, yeah, I'm going. This dude is your baby daddy. How I look sitting up at home and you out having drinks with your baby daddy. But again, back to it. I think we read too much into this. I just think that they're just going out as friends. I think they're friends. I just think that they're co-parenting and they're finding a way to co-parent and be friends. And I don't think anything's wrong with that. I think I actually celebrate this because how many of us have broken up with our baby mama or our baby dada and it turned into World War III? It was just like a big fight, just cussing and everything else in front of the children and everything else. So if this is what it is, I'm okay with it. If he took her back, that's not good for me. That's not now. I'm not gonna get in this business until it, surfaces. If they make it public, then it's fair game. But if they just keep their stuff off Facebook, off social media, and just do it, this is not a good sign of it. But nevertheless, if they keep it off of social media, nobody has anything to say. That's just my opinion. But it left it to another conversation because in looking at this and discussing this, seeing the discussions online in the comment section and everything else, a few of the ladies was calling men shallow. They was calling men shallow. That word has been thrown out a lot now about men being shallow, about how we just go by looks, how we go by looks. And I saw this video and I want you guys to take a look at it. Tell me what you think on the other side.
I just find it funny that this man is commenting this because men are the prime example of me, me, me. When a man is going on the dating scene, he is selfish and ruthless. If a woman is not meeting his requirements, he is not giving her the time of day. He does not look, he doesn't say, oh, she's 300 pounds, but she has a personal trainer and she's at the gym every day. She'll be my ideal weight soon. No, 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 no. If you weren't a man's type, he would not give you the time of day. A man is the most selfish and shallow on the dating scene. Women are not. Okay, women are more willing to build with men than men are to build with women. If you don't look good right now, he's not going to say, "Oh, well, you'll look good in a few years. I can put a little bit of plastic surgery in you, etc." No, 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 no. If you don't look the way a man wants, he is not going to date you. He's not going to give you the time of day. Men are the most me, 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 me. I'm looking for my requirements. That's men. It is not women.
Get the out of here. I tell you what's up. See, that's the kind of garbage that I see being said online that make me just my head explodes. First of all, let me educate you real quick, and please share this so they can hear this. Because I'm gonna keep it 100. Y'all know I do. Men looking for beauty has been a standard from day one. Those of you who actually crack open the Bible, you can attest to this. Men have always gone for the fairer of the women. That's always been us. That's how we were made. We were made to be visual. We were made to value women based off of looks and beauty initially. That's the way we were made. We are wired to be that way. So it kind of makes me upset when women be like, looks ain't everything. And they usually are from silverbacks or manabees or whatever. No, looks are not everything after the initial. Because once we see you, that's going to decide whether or not we want to pursue you. I don't know what it needs to happen for you to grasp that painfully simple concept. And it doesn't make us shallow. It makes us men. And we should never, as men, apologize for being men. We're men. We gonna look. We could be mad. A YouTuber today said something that I agree with. We can be super duper mad at you as our woman. But if we see you walk by and you look good and you know, your shape is nice or you got, something else that we find attractive, for an instant, what we feel about you being mad is going to be like, wait, oh yeah, I'm mad at you. Because men are visual. This is the way we are wired. That's the way we are. And you should not try to change that. Because some things about us you don't want to change. So why would you want to change the things that benefit you, but the stuff that you think you should just gloss over, you want to get rid of? And then this woman actually says that men don't want to work with you. You 300 pounds. I almost said something. You dang right, you 300 pounds. You have weighed yourself out of this market. If you are 280 and up, you probably need to put in some work. That's not the saying what y'all tell yourself, oh, it's a lot of men that want big women. Yes, there are, but you don't want them either. Because the men that you go after, they don't go for 300-pound women. They don't. They just don't. I can bring them on the show and have them tell you. They don't go for 300-pound women. So if you're 250 pounds and up and you not proportion, you might want to log off right now. Go somewhere else where they can tell you everything that you want to hear. Go to Derek Jackson. He's still pandering. Do all of that stuff. But over here, we're going to keep it 100. We're going to keep it 100. You're not going to like it. That's cool. You don't like cough medicine, but you get better after you take it. We had to deal with it because she didn't have a problem. Listen, she was lying to you. If I came to you and said, well, I work at White Castle's, I can get you a double stack. Wait, that's Wendy's. What's White Castle's? A double slider? A double slider. I can get you a double slider with fries. She'd be like, mm-mm. It's a video that I'm going to show you next Monday. I don't know why I didn't post it. But you know what? No, I'm going to tell you about it. I'll post it next week. But I want to share this with you. And I want you guys to chime in. Fellas, ladies, let me go with the ladies. I always start ladies first. You meet a man, he's nice and everything else. You guys been dating, chicken rings, right? You guys been dating. You guys having a great time. And you take it to the next level. You really, really care for him. He cares for you. He does the best he can for you. He decides, you're talking about marriage. You're talking about family. You're being honest with him. You're saying, I don't think it's wise to marry right now because you're not financially stable enough to handle a family. If you were to level up, if you were to get a better job, a better career or whatever, and made more money or were more financially stable, I would marry you. So the man goes out, gets a job, works his tail off. He gets a job. And while he's working that job, he puts himself through school, become better. He gets a job that's going to increase his earning potential and has a roof that expands where he can make more money over time. He comes back now making $70,000 a year, which is pretty decent. That's $30,000 over the average. For those of you who think you deserve more, that's $30,000 over the average. The average is 46. He's making almost 30,000 more than that. 24,000 if you want to be specific. So $70,000 a year with earning potential to make more later, right? So he comes to you, he says, I want to marry you. The lady says, yes, I'm going to marry you because you put in the work, you've upgraded your life, you've made more money, and with your financial status, I feel safe that you could take care of a family. There's a video. Most of you would say, oh, that's dope. That's cool. He did what he was supposed to do. Even the fellas would probably be like, right on, buddy. You did the right thing. But it's a video out here where a lady that posted this video. And in the video, the man said, and I know I'm about to lose some of you. He said, if you lose weight, because she was a big girl, if you lose weight, I will marry you. That's what he said. Not me before you jump on me. He said it. So she goes and she leaves a message said, challenge accepted. This woman goes and works out and loses weight, whatever she did. That beginning picture to the very end picture looks totally different. And when I tell you she looks magnificent, and guess what he did? He married her. The same type of women that said that man who leveled up for his woman to marry her was the same women in that comment section roasting her and dogging him, say, yeah, you did all that. Now you should leave him to get a man that would love you the way you are. Whoa. So when a man wants to level up, you don't have a problem with that. See, fellas, this is why you need to pay close attention. They have no problems telling you you need to level up to get me. But the things that men find valuable, now you're shallow. You can't make this shift up. They dogged this man, called him shallow and everything else, but she married him. I'm going to say this and I'm going to move on. Men are visual. And that visual concept does not leave once you say, I do. We are visual. You are going to leave us if we decided we didn't want to work anymore. You would leave us. So why would you get mad at a man that says, hey, you picked up 300 pounds. I'm not attracted to this. Now you can, he don't love, which brings me to this. And I promise you, I'm trying. What does that say about you when you want the man that's leveled up, that did everything, put in the work and everything? What does that say about you that you would tell this same man who's leveled up, you need to accept me for what the trash I give you and be happy with it? I'm going to give you my very least, but I want you to give me your very best. You think that's a fair deal? And you sit back and wonder. And I saw this video. Listen, and y'all probably say, no, ladies, they don't talk like that. They don't talk like that. Oh, really?
What's your name?
Kia.
Kia, where you from?
Philly.
Okay, you came here from Philly?
I came here.
You having a good time?
I'm having a great time.
Okay, calm down. I just good. Okay, what's your name?
S.
You from Philly?
Yes, I
Okay,
am.
what's your name?
Jarrell.
Where you from?
Philly.
Oh, so y'all all came from Philly. Okay,
Yeah.
so quick question. What's the minimum amount of money a man needs to make to date you?
Oh, so there. I don't know how easy.
We ain't got much time.
Oh, you need to make at least 150,000.
Okay, you make 150,000?
Yes. Yep.
Okay, what about you?
Around the same route.
100. You make 150?
No, I don't.
Oh,
I
we
make
gonna
about
come back to
70.
her. We gonna
I
go back
make
to
about 70, but he got to make more than me.
Okay. What about you?
I'm with that. Over 150.
And you make 150?
No, I don't.
Okay.
But he need to make more than me.
Okay, so why do you feel a man needs to make more money than you?
Because he's the provider.
And what are you?
Not no roommate. Sprinkle.
So let me ask you a question. I don't know nothing about that. So
y'all heard the sprinkle, right? You know it, so you know who she's been listening to. Right, that other idiot. Let's go.
let me ask you a question. If your man make more than you, do you think the bill should be 50-50?
I'm not doing 50.
What you doing?
Nothing. He can handle it.
$150,000 ain't a lot of money.
It's not, but he can handle it.
Okay, what you doing in your relationship?
I'm gonna do 40.
What you doing?
Nothing.
Okay, so which one of y'all married? Thanks.
I don't need to say nothing else. That last statement shows you everything. But we need to come. But the lady before said we're shallow. We need to. You don't want to build. Yeah. All right. Keep telling yourself that. Then I saw this post. Y'all ready to laugh? Look at this. This lady says, no disrespect to anyone, but Lord, now this is a prayer. This is a prayer. But Lord, please don't send me another man that's mentally ill, don't know how to communicate, emotionally destroyed, depressed, can't own up to his responsibilities and actions. A man who can't put his foot down to his family or people around him. Another woman's man, married, separated. I don't want it. I can't speak for himself or have no control over his life. Who's not compassionate, sympathetic, empathetic, or romantic, and don't know how to love. Who don't want help to change. We don't need your help, but help to change for the better. Because as a woman, when you're dealing with that type of man, you are mentally and emotionally, physically drained after constantly trying to help him become a better man. Now, y'all looking at this and y'all saying, oh, that's not too much. That's not too much to ask, is it? So that was her that said all these things. She don't want no man that's emotionally damaged and that, right? Also her. Also her. Also her. Also her. Also her. You can't make this shift up. Ma'am, what type of men are you trying to attract doing this? I almost walked away. The only men you're going to attract doing this, your pictures with your butt and everything else hanging out, you can get somebody to take you right down the street to Pound Town. That's where you're going to go. That's going to be your destination. In the car going to Pound Town. It is the same woman. I actually found these pictures myself. This is the same woman. You can't make. Listen. I think my boy Kevin said, Kevin, I need your I need Kevin Samuels' help, man. Oh God.
God, you can't make this shit up.
You can't. When I saw the pictures, I was like, what type of men do you think you gonna attract like this? You gonna attract scallies, you gonna attract all the hood bandit sons, you gonna attract all these Madden kings. I bought Madden 24, by the way. I'm gonna play that the second I'm done here after I send the video to my boss. But yeah, what in the world? Be careful of that, because you had no problems going at men. This is all men are saying. You have no problems going at us, but you want us to deal with you with kitten gloves. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It don't make sense. Thank you, Jeremy. It really doesn't make sense. You're going to attract the same men you complain about. You can't, listen, I keep telling y'all, you can absolutely not make this up. You can't make this up. Even if you tried, you couldn't do it, because you're not that good. I'm pretty good on base, but I ain't that good. I can't make this up. Jesus. I love y'all. I love you. Look, I saw that. I said this, and it never ceases. I'm in one group in this. I'm not gonna tell you the name of the group. You got to find it. But I love this group. It is a freaking gold mine for content. It's a gold mine. I thank God. I literally thank God for this group, because every ratchet, stupid thing about men and women that could be said is said in this group. It's said in this group. I'm wondering, what the falcon do y'all think about? Who taught you this madness? So you need people like me. You need people like me. And even though I'm not really in the mission to blow this thing up to the moon, but channels like this and lives like this, where people like me that will tell you and not try to tear you down. I'm telling you this so you can improve, all of us. You need to listen to channels like this, not that panda bear. And it's a panda bear, and I'm going to show you about some pandering when we go to Preachers Going Wild. It's crazy. It's crazy. But even then, as people, especially men, one of the things, ladies, you need to look for is for a man that knows how to control his emotions. A man that can't control his emotions is not a good man for you in a relationship or even in a marriage. We can't control our emotions, so it dictates where we go. And most of these men, we're hyper emotional, and they're usually from, no offense, but single mothers. Because we're the men around, we pretty much are chill, unless we were raised by somebody that's hyper emotional. My father wasn't hyper emotional, so I'm not that person. Neither were my uncles. I was raised with a lot of positive men, thank God. But some men are not. But sometimes when you overexert yourself in your emotionalism, you can be really, really embarrassed. I want y'all to take a look at this. And this is troubling, but some of you may get a chuckle out of it. Let's go.
Last week, I need my results. This is ghetto. Stop touching me, man. Oh my God, this is ghetto.
Bro, chill, bro.
What?
Oh.
I ain't got no herpes. Yo, I was scared last week.
So he goes in and acts a fool. Talking about he needs his results now. He's been coming in since last week. Now, those of you who are in the medical field, I'm going to ask you a question, but he starts to act a fool. I want my results right now. She said, you want your results? He said, yeah, herpes. Is that not against the law to put out his medical condition like that in public? Yes or no? Is that not against the law to do that? Because if it is, then she could be in trouble. I don't think that this is fake either, because it would take a whole lot to set this up, and not to mention the people that would be fired, because this didn't look like a prop set. This looked like this was really, really happening. He was acting the fool, getting all raunchy, and the lady went out and said, you got herpes. Now, my medical people, tell me, it's against, what did you say? Oh, okay. So that's what I thought. That's what I thought. She can't put his condition out there. HIPAA. That's what I thought. HIPAA. So not only that, everybody in that room found out that you had herpes, my boy. Everybody found out that you had herpes. Do you know how that would destroy my mental makeup to find out that all these people, I mean, you could kind of deal with the issue, the disease or the things that you have contracted or acquired. But for everybody to know it would be kind of crazy. Yeah, HIPAA violation. So what violation would you call this that I'm going to show you if it should show?
You're so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
You know the bad part about it? This happened in Chicago. Y'all ready? Here we go. So dude driving down the street. He decides to throw rocks at the dude's car. He stops. Dude's still walking. He's still walking. He's like, okay, I'm going to throw another rock. 773, that's Chicago, y'all, by the way. Hits the car. Now, the car, he decides to take him out into his own hands, and this is what happened. Whoo-cow. Yo. Listen, you know, this dude, he's a very good dude. He said this before.
The more you around, the more you're going to find out.
Listen, he threw the rock at the man's car. The man tried to swerve and keep from hitting him, but he decided to keep going, throwing the rocks. At what point do you realize to say, hey, maybe I shouldn't throw any more rocks at this car? So you got hit by a car because you decided to be stupid. Only in Chicago does this happen. Now, I'm pretty sure there's some fools everywhere. I live in Indiana, and there's some fools out here. They voted for Trump. They're fools. But nothing like this. Because the first rock I would let you have. The second rock, yeah, you got blasted by the car. You just got to, listen, pick and choose your battles wisely, people. Pick and choose your battles wisely. Preachers Gone Wild, 81. Oh, God, we're getting up there. 81 Preachers Gone Wild. Now, these Preachers Gone Wild is going to be theme-based, okay? Theme-based. Remember earlier I told you, I think I can find something that's in Atlanta. Oh, yeah, Atlanta is kind of raunchy right now, man. I used to want to live in Atlanta, but not anymore, man. Once I realized Atlanta is, yeah, Atlanta's kind of wild right now. I was down there for when we did Ricky's anniversary thing down there for Stellar Awards last year, and Atlanta was kind of off the chain. I didn't like it like I thought I would. I like the sightseeing. I like the culture there in some regards, but when I start getting around the real Atlanta, see, Black people, we know the real. We experience the real, and we experience what people want you to see. And once I saw the real, I said, oh, no, Atlanta's not the place for me. It's not the place for me. I'm trying to avoid a certain element of people. No offense, but I love Black people, but ninjas and me, we just don't have a great relationship. I just don't. But anyway, I don't like preachers. Men, they always say men don't come to church. One of the reasons why men don't come to church is because we're tired of the panda bears in church. The panda bears in church that pander to women, saying things to men that absolutely are bullshit, but y'all love it and y'all clap. Healthcare worker can still be penalized, legally not authorized to openly disclose, except to people who are predetermined on file somewhere or something like that. I think the worker just got frustrated in the moment, which I understand. But I still think that I don't know if you should do that though. That's I understand what you're saying, Brenda, but I don't know. I just can't see myself actually being okay with that. I think a lawsuit would have followed if that was me. If that was me, a lawsuit would have followed. Don't put my business out in the street. Because can you imagine, as a woman, you are frustrated. You got this burning sensation down there that won't go away. You've taken baths, you've doing whatever you need to do. Some of y'all take caps of bleach and Clorox or whatever you do, and you try to make sure the heaven box is clean. And so you go down to the clinic and you're frustrated because you've been going there for a week, but this burning, itchy sensation not going anywhere. And they tell you have a disease that's not curable in front of everybody in the mic. You got AIDS. You will be like, what? Why did you? Don't put my business out there like that. You not saying it's okay. Just I mean, I get what you're saying. What up, D? What up, Terrell? Look, it is the heavens, the holies of holies. That's why you shouldn't give it to everybody. It's the holies of holies. It's no longer the holies of holies if everybody's had it. It's like a Ford Pinto at that point. So you go from the holies of holies, hallelujah. Let me get the echo. Hallelujah, hallelujah. To a Pinto. You got a Pinto now. What up, Eric? I don't know. But I don't like pandering preachers. Y'all can tell me if I'm reading too much into this. But check this out. I didn't like what he had to say in one regard. But let's go.
Care enough to marry you, you should care enough to carry her. Because when a woman marries a man, she either been rescued or kidnapped. What? And see, the thing about a kidnapper, it's all about the kidnapper. It ain't about who he kidnapped. It's all about what he wants. It's all about what he wants to do. But when you rescue somebody, what you need, what can I do for you? How can I make your life better? He got you on a budget. You never give you no money. Now, he buying rims, he buying boats, he buying all that. But then when you want something, we on a budget. I don't have a budget when it come to my wife. Whatever you want, whatever you like, how many you want. If I can't get it right now, just stay with me. I'll get it after a while. A woman's life ought to be better when she marry you.
I'm gonna say this in the nicest way possible. That's before I do that. It's pandering like that a lot of men don't like in church. That kind of pandering. Let me say this, and I mean this with everything in me. If a preacher gets up from now on for the rest of my life, if you get up there pandering, I'm going to walk out on your message. I don't want to hear it. Because when it come down time for you to get on them, you don't go there. But when men, we are asked to do all this stuff, and you got to do this. Why it's always a beat down when it comes to us, what we should be doing and what you're not doing. And then you compare yourself to make yourself look like God because you're doing something as you should as a husband, even though you kind of went too far. You don't give them over in abundance. You give them what you can. They married you not because you can give them stuff. They married you to build the legacy and the family, and because they genuinely care about you. But you talking about, it's no allowance. It's our money. It's our money together. This building. So no, you don't have to give her allowance. It's your money. But it feeds into this narrative that we are like ATMs with penises. Give you all the money and everything. Not saying that's what he was doing. I said it feeds. It helps to feed into that narrative. Let me be nice. Let me say this, and I hope I can help you. It is not our job to make you happy. It is not. It is not anyone's job to make you happy. If you are a man, it's not her job to make you happy. If you are a lady, it's not your job for him to make you happy. It is your own responsibility to make sure that you are in a place in life where you are happy. At the bare minimum, a person coming into your life should not take away from your happiness and at most add to your happiness. You should already come in happy. This person comes in to make your life better maybe, but not even better. Just not make your life miserable. because there are going to be some times where you're not going to feel better. That's why you don't go into these situations based off of emotions and how you feel. This is why so many marriages say, well, I didn't feel for him, my feelings changed, or I don't feel the same way. Because you got into it based off of how he makes you feel. You're happy now, but you're sad now. Relationships of any kind, friendships, platonic, romantic, marriages, they all go through ups and downs, valleys and ditches. If you jumping off every time it goes through a down point based off your happiness, then guess what? That's doomed to begin with. And to feed this narrative that this man needs to make your life happiness is a bunch of bullshit. That's not our job. Our job is to protect. Our job is to provide, respect, honor, and love, and cherish, if you want to throw that up in there. Nowhere did it say, now, if those things don't make your aspirations happy, then you can go and find some other simp that's going to do all that other stuff and jump through the hoops for you. And while you're doing that, what are you giving him? See, this is why we got a whole lot of issues, because we got legit 4s and 5s treating this box that's been to Pound Town more times than I could even count. You've been there with many other dudes, but you expect these men now, your husbands, to give you new car prices. You can't make this shit up. You can't. You're not that good. So when I see men like this pandering, I'm like, dude, just keep it 100. Now, if it was a level of balance, cool. But when TD Jakes had something to say about the ladies, they dragged him. I don't understand. And I sit back and I watch, and I'm like, at what point do y'all not see this? The pandering. And then you look around and you see the men ain't coming. Then the men that are coming, they ain't interested in you. They won't eat. Shut up, Derek. Okay, next video. Next video. Hey, if ever there's a time to take a bite from somebody, it would be this. But you can't take a bite from the mothers, so you got to let her have her due. Here we go.
I want to sing it now. And it's to everybody in here that don't know Jesus as their Savior. I don't know what key I sing in, okay? It might be Q, but I sing in one of them. And it goes like this. Hell is hot. Ain't no water there. Oh, hell is hot. Ain't no water there. No ice, no tea, no lemonade, no Coke, no Sprite, no Gatorade. Oh, hell is hot. Ain't no water there. Hell is hot. Ain't no water there. No ice, no tea, no lemonade, no Coke, no Sprite, no Gatorade. Hell is hot.
Stop it.
Regina made that up. Regina made that up. She made that up on the spot. Ain't no Gatorade, lemonade, Coca-Cola. Regina?
Now, let me ask you this question. I believe I've heard the hell is hot. I don't think I've ever heard it in this way. I'm not going to begin to sing it now, but I kind of remember a version of it from my very, very little days, back in the day where they actually sung about hell. I don't remember no lemonade and no Gatorade. That's new. That's like the remix. But do you really think that this was appropriate at a funeral? Do you really think that was appropriate? But like I said, the mothers of the church, trust me, you can't say nothing to them. They rule. Nobody says anything to the mothers of the church. Stop me if I'm wrong. The mothers of the church can pretty much say whatever they want. Nobody's going to check them. They're going to go unabated. all the way to the finish line. Nobody's going to say anything. But really, to me, this Hell is Hot song, I don't know. If it was done at my mom's or my family member's funeral, and somebody got up there and said that, and I was actually in the room to hear it, I probably would have. I probably would have lost it. You like, what you doing? You know, I mean, I understand hell is hot or whatever, but depending on what hell we talking about here. And see, this is a conversation y'all don't want to have. You're gonna have it here. I'm not doing it today, but which hell we talking about? Because out of all the hells that I mentioned in the Bible, only one of them dealt with fire. Only one. I mean, that I remember off the top of my head. Maybe another. Maybe. But only one that I definitely know, because guess what? It really was fire there. It really was fire there. So, and this is not an imaginary place. This place actually really did exist. But which hell are we talking about here? But nevertheless, not to destroy your theology, because some of you, it just ruffles your feathers when you hear me go against what you think you know or what you think you believe. There was a video that was posted by Larry Reed, and it's unfortunately the church that I play at on Sundays. And to read some of those comments in that comment section let me believe this is why people don't blank with some church people. They don't mess with you. This is why they don't with you. Because to be honest, some of that stuff didn't need to be said. Just because somebody preaches something that you don't agree with, as long as it's not necessarily damaging, and the part is coming from a place of where they just trying to educate, then just speak on the education of it. Don't just try to rip up somebody personally because you don't agree with their theology. Attack the argument. If I get on here and say, like I just said, there were many hells, so only one, maybe the other one dealt with torture or fire, and then you can say, oh, that black dude with that ugly t-shirt, he talking about decency and order. Look at his family. His family's a wreck. He this, that. See, now you're attacking me personally. Attack what I just said. Then that's what I had an issue with. I'm not one of those people that go at people and ready to fight because your pastor actually somebody has something to say about the pastor. I ain't one of those people. But I just think it's very despicable the way we could display that things because we don't agree with the theology of somebody. You can disagree. Now, I'm not talking about making jokes. We gonna joke here. But I mean, man, some of them comments was way below the belt. I'm like, you literally typed this. What church do you go to again? Remind me not to go there. Because if people go to that church that act like you, I don't need to go. Because you didn't agree with what somebody said. But tune in tomorrow for our broadcast, our live. He's going to talk about it again and bring clarity to you people that want to destroy theology. And you may still not agree, and that's fine. And I'm moving on, I promise you. Who made it a law that you got to agree with everything somebody says in church? Who made that a law? If you go to a church and everything that preacher or pastor says you agree with, something is wrong. Because by human nature, you're not going to agree with everything. The only thing that agrees with everything like that is people that are in a cult or somebody that's programmed like a robot. Those are only people, zombies. But if you are a human being, you're not going to always agree with everything somebody is saying, and that should be okay. Now, if you combative and you want to challenge them all up in the mic, then you being disrespectful. You know that's not the way protocol is. Regardless of whatever you think it was in the Bible, proper protocol today does not call for you to stand up in church and defiantly be combative with a preacher during that time. But I think it's appropriate to go to them personally and say, hey, when you said this is what I found. You know, could you please speak to that so you can help me? Now, if they blow you off and say, oh, no, I'm the leader, this, that, then you might want to remove yourself because that's evident of a controlling situation. But every pastor that seeks to be your covering is not trying to control you. They're not. Covering does not denote that they're trying to control you. Sometimes covering means to protect. Have you forgotten about that? Sometimes covering means to shield you from the things that may be trying to attack you. So your covering is covering you from the elements that lead to your destruction. But some of us, we're so busy so nobody can tell me what to do. So when somebody says submit, or covering or authority, now you already got your panties or manties in a bunch because you have no idea of what it means to be submitted to or follow authority. Now, you're talking to somebody, trust me, I have a different theology than most, but I'm just expressing to you a different perspective that before you typed yourself on that Larry Reed live thing and went hard on somebody that you don't know, maybe you should have considered that. I'm from the school of thought that everybody's accountable to everybody. Your pastor should be accountable to you. If he out here smashing every chick in the church, he should be able to explain and be held accountable for his actions. So if you go to a church where the pastor just feel like I can do whatsoever I want to do, but you have to answer to me, but I don't have to answer to you, then you might want to remove yourself from that situation because everybody should be accountable to each other. But I don't think that's what's meant by covering. I could go deeper. I'm not. But I'm just saying, I just think we kind of hear that word authority. Like even in personal relationships, you hear submit, you automatically lose your freaking mind, not knowing that submit just means to yield. It means to yield. That's all it means, yield to a higher authority. If your pastor, you saying you're my pastor, you are yielding. You're trusting him to give you a good message or good leadership or display good leadership and teach you in the ways that you would know from biblical standpoint so you can grow. That's all you're doing. So you are trusting him to lead, to cover you. That's all that simply means in this context. I don't understand how people feel like that people want to control. Yes, it's used to control. We know that. But that's why you need this little thing called discernment. So you can see the elements of control, or you can see the elements of somebody genuinely caring about you and your walk and your maturity as it pertains to growing in Christ. So we hear that and we automatically go there. And instead of presenting a good argument if you don't agree, you decide to attack people personally. I never understand that about us. I won't. I never will understand that about church people. How we choose to attack people personally instead of just disagreeing with them. Can you imagine Peter and Paul having that discussion about the Gentiles and they just start going at each other nasty? Instead of just talking, no, this is what Christ said, or this is what it should be, and just having a discussion about that. I just hope we can get to that place. And it's amazing I'm having a discussion about people saved, sanctified, running for my life. Running for my life. Do you want to go to hell? Hell no. Do you want to go to hell? But we treat each other like trash. I just won't understand that. But since we're talking about violence.
From your mother, from your aunt, from Pastor Boyd, the last pure oil you have. And I want you to pour it in there. So Kathy, I thought he was going to say, pour a little bit in the bottom. And he said,
pause.
But these people, he said, these people are weapons. These people would not be the people that just pray a little bit. These people will point their weapon. These people will tell the devil, if you don't shut up, I'm going to get my weapon. If you're one of those persons and you're saying, 199 is nothing in comparison to what God is going to do for me, I'm going to give you this card. You're going to fill it out and you're going to take it to the tape table, and that's where you're going to complete your seed for the weapon of power package. Come Saturday, I'm going to call for all of you all to line up in this room and open up your package. And I want to hand you your weapon. You're going to open it up and put your prayer shawl around you, and I'm going to put it in your hand. And you're going to be a demon chaser. You're going to be the house that they said, go down there. Because that lady down there prayed. It's something in her house. Oh, somebody better open up your mouth.
I don't know, man. To me, I wanted to rock with this as far as props. So you facing a demon, and the demon's gonna wait for you to go get your super soaker with oil. I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, see, this is the issue that I have with that, and not just that. You want to this package. Does that denote money exchange? Will there be money given for them to get this package? When is it gonna be enough to just preach? The super soaker with oil thing. You say, I'm gonna go get this weapon. Since when is that gonna work? Only thing that's gonna do is make a mess in your house. It's gonna smell. Now, let me let you in on the secret. I used to love the smell of blessed oil when I was coming up. That bottle that used to be shaped like this, you know what I mean? I can't remember the name of it, but it had like a blue label on it, right? I used to love the smell of that blessed oil. I know it was nothing but olive oil, but yeah, I used to love that. But I can't imagine putting that mug in a super soaker and shooting it at demons. What are we, like Ghostbusters? I mean, to be honest with you, the way demons move, from what I'm understanding, outside of a couple of instances, demons don't move like you see in movies. I'm gonna kill you, which I'm gonna get on that in a minute. I love for status and I'm gonna share that. But I thought demons move through you as far as how they tempt you. If they can get you to do something, they prey on your weaknesses and they get you to do stuff that you shouldn't be doing. Like if they know you got a weakness and you like sex, they're gonna get you through your sexual desires. Or if you are somebody that's struggling with alcohol or somebody that's struggling with any other narcotic or something like that, or weed or even worse, heroin, cocaine, rocks, that's how they work. They operate with tempting you. I mean, there are very few instances where I can see in scripture where they actually was like, raw. Except for when he said, we are legion, but it didn't it didn't say it act like it did in the movies. But let me say this. One thing I can tell you about real demon possession, I've seen a couple myself, and they're nothing to deal with. But what I've come to understand is a lot of these demons, that gun ain't gonna do nothing for. Those demons that y'all be seeing in church, they the most well-behaved demons. Shut up, stop, you will sit down. No, sit down. And they sit. Them real demons, they gonna be like, sit down, shut up. They gonna make sure that they cause a disruption. And one thing about them demons, they know each other. They got text messages to their boys. So if you got people up in there that's committing sin and everything else under the sun, them demons gonna start calling it out up in there. Because if for nothing else, a demon has one if it can be disruptive. So if you have a demon manifestation in your church and it's not disruptive, then what I mean disruptive, it seeks to destroy, divide, to cause issues, discord. That's the major things that those demons would do. So if you got a demon coming up in your church and it's so eloquently floated out of the person and dissipated into dust after you said Jesus 100 times, then I would be like, nah, that either had to be one of them little small demons or whatever, nothing higher up in the chain. Because them demons would start calling out, ain't you sleeping with her and you sleeping with her? That ain't your child. I mean, it would be like chaotic. Them demons would move. Y'all watch these movies, right? And I'm not trying to conflate movies with real life. But really, when you think about it, every time those exorcists went up, them exorcists happened, those priests would come up in the room and that demon would start going crazy, saying some wild stuff to them. It can see you. It can see your fears. It knows all this stuff about you. But now when he come to our churches, they just say, leave. Okay. I always wondered why that happens. Me watch my fair share of movies and what I've seen. I literally saw this one chick when it manifests, she backhand this dude and it wasn't pretty. I literally saw that. And you would think this lady this small went backhand a man that big and he go flying like he did. So right then and there, I was like, oh yeah. And they told us when we were kids, before they started to pray for these people that had these real issues or whatever, they would tell us to leave. They would say, if you're a child or whatever, if you ain't saved, you need to get out the room right now. Now, I don't know how they do it at your church, but when I came in my church, they would say, if you ain't saved or whatever, you need to leave right now because some stuff would have happened up in here. Now, I can only go by the things that I remember when I was a shorty, but trust me, I saw one. This lady has literally stood up on ends by itself. That freaked me out, and I was like, oh, time to go, and I left. So y'all not ready for that. And I wonder if we ever will be. I wonder if we ever I don't think we could ever really be that ready anymore. Because if a real demon came up in some of our churches right now and manifested, it would tear that church apart. It would literally not even have to be like raw and start. No, by the stuff that it would say and the people that it will expose, it will tear a church up. That should make you more scared. You should never say, oh, if you know your church full of mess, the last thing you want to see is a demon manifest. That's the last thing you want to see because it's going to go hard. It knows all. Think about it. What do they say the devil is want to kill, steal, and destroy, right? If it could destroy the very fabric of your church, why wouldn't it jump on that? If it know it could put out something in this church that'll bring it to his knees, why would it just say, you leave, demon? Okay. No, it's not going to go out without a fight. I don't think y'all understand the severity of this. You do not want to see a real demon manifest in your church. It's going to tear your church up if you got a whole lot of stuff going on. Because if you're not strong enough to handle that, because we're not. If a demon start telling you your pastor up in here masturbating the gay porn in the bathroom, you gonna lose your mind. You would lose your mind because you're not ready for that. So stop saying we want these demons to be cast out. You really don't want that. Because the real ones, they're gonna call you out on everything. That's what they there to do. Y'all like to say, witches come to my church. Witches want to destroy your church. So if it know it's got all this dirt on your pastors, your preachers, your whoever, nobody cares about musicians. They pretty much know we're a mess anyway. But still, if they know they can destroy the church by putting out all this stuff, they will do it. Because that more so than destroying that person, if I could take down a whole ministry that's making an impact, if I could take down this whole ministry by bringing this out, what the heck do I care about this person I'm in? I can use this person's mouth to bring this whole ministry down. That's something. See, that's too deep for y'all. Y'all not ready. Y'all not ready. Whew. I wasn't even trying to go there. I really wasn't. But y'all need to be careful with that. Y'all not ready for that. You just not ready. None of us, I don't really think, I agree with Jeremy. It'd be hard pressed to find anybody that can adequately deal with that. Because it could be bad. I've seen it happen. I've literally seen this demon call out somebody sleeping with somebody. I left. He said, how you going to pray for me and you sleeping with her? Everybody at the altar said, and Derek got off the bass, put the bass down, and I disappeared. Nobody saw me no more that night. That was it for me. I'll never forget this concert either. I'm not going to say where it is because I'm pretty sure some of my friends, my cousins probably watching this like, Derek, what was it? I'm not going to tell you. Jason, if he sees this, he knows exactly because he saw my face when I walked up out of there. How you going to pray for me, you sleeping with her? You can't make this up. That happens. Anyway, musicians, we need to be careful with these stems. I like stems, but I'm beginning to not like them so much. I'm beginning not to like stems. I like drum loops and shouts, but the stems and stuff like that, I know Jeff Atkins, he's one of the best at having stems and shouts. You know, y'all might want to support him. He sells a lot of this. Y'all probably seen his video everywhere. But sometimes it could go wrong during church.
And I calling my phone, but they know I don't answer. In the hood, I'm like Princess Diana.
If Brenda should happen to see this, Mom, that ain't me. Because I shudder to think the whooping I would have gotten if that would have happened in my church service. My mama would have beat me so bad I would have been light-skinned. I would have been beaten within an inch of my life if that happened to me. Mm-mm. You just don't let that happen. But see, even when that happens, time and time again, musicians are tired of being told what to play by preachers. For real. We are the musicians. Let us do our thing. But it's one thing for your pastor to tell you what to play. You kind of can deal with that. Most of us do. But when somebody else tells you what to do, it can go bad.
Dun, dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. Don't mess it up. Dun, 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 dun. Bum, bum. Dun, 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 dun. Bum, bum. Dun, 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 dun. Make it scream. Watch.
That was painful to watch, y'all. And it went on for like 2 minutes. They could never really get it together. That was really painful to watch. That dude, D, what was that? That was super duper painful to watch because I'm sitting up and looking at somebody that plays at a progressive church where the shout can go from a major to a minor to everywhere in the middle. Me watching them struggle like this and him not even be able to, and I know what he was trying to do. He was trying to do that Ty Tribbett thing, that da 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 do and then ends up, but what, how does that end? That whole little sequence. I think that's what he was trying to get them to do, but there's no way they could have pulled that off. That ain't the band for that. See, if you want to pull all that stuff, you got to bring your own musicians. You got to bring your own musicians. And sometimes, even when you bring your own musicians still jump on your instrument, try to play on your set.
If you didn't rehearse with me, please get up. Please. I've asked you several times. Please, let's be decent and in order. Decent and in order. You didn't rehearse with me.
Musicians, if you find yourself in this situation, it's no one's fault but your own. If you didn't rehearse, don't plug up.
Here we go.
So let me ask you this question. Was he wrong for going there with that musician? The musician that rehearsed with him. And it's been several times where I've seen this happen, where a musician didn't rehearse with the artist or whatever and decided to start playing with them, especially in the vamp, and pretty much don't know the sets. You know, you don't know what they do, how they end, the outro, intros, or the little things that they may do transitioning to the vamp or coming out of it. So seeing this happen, it brought back memories where I've seen this happen. But I think he'd handled it in the right way. He told him, you did not rehearse with me. You know, why are you trying to play? It's this one guitar player that I know that will remain nameless used to do this all the time. Never rehearsed with us, never played with us, pause, and never did anything, never went to rehearsal. But when it came down to playing, he used to be the loudest thing up there. And if you was like, yo, dude, chill, he didn't listen to you. It had one lick that he used to do all the time. God rest his soul, he passed. But he used to do especially shout music. He used to get into it too with a Jerry curl. But he never rehearsed, never came to rehearsal, never really did, but be the loudest thing on the stage. It can be very, very frustrating. It could be very, very structured. And he said he asked him, you're right, Jeremy, he said he asked him several times to stop. And he didn't. Let me show you the right way to do it, because you're going to see the master at work right quick before we move on. Check this out.
And I'm still here. And it's by the grace of God. We can draw ours here just a little bit to draw ours from just a little bit, but you too loud for me. When I come back home,
I know you know PJ. You know exactly who I'm talking about. He used to do that all the time. That's what I'm saying. He used to do that all the time. Never rehearsed with us. But when it came down time to play, he the loudest thing on stage. I promise you. Now, do you think she handled it right? I don't know much about organ, the settings. I will say this. I say this all the time. The organ is about far the hardest thing to mix for me, because it covers the whole harmonic spectrum. It can cover all of it. It can go real low, so it can get in the bass way. It can get in the keyboard player way. It can get in the guitar player way. It's the most harmonically complicated instrument in the whole gospel band. So I'm thinking that Dorinda knows a little bit more about organs than I would. And I think that she handled it right. She told you to push the drawbars in. Now, I'm thinking now, my organ friends, please help me out. I think she's talking about the bright ones. I think she was trying to say he was a little bit too bright, so she told him to push it in. Now, having said that, pause, super duper pause, super pause. But having said that, let me say this. I do see some keyboard players and organists overplay when the solo is up. So the person can sing, man, sing grace. How sweet. The sound. I'm like, how we can get through the rest of the chorus you did already ran through? I've seen this happen so many times where the keyboard player just go bananas and we just singing Amazing Grace. I just want to sing Amazing Grace just straight. And you done ran through and showed all your tricks on the opening chorus. You can't make this up. Now, know my musicians friends that are watching this, I'm pretty sure you've seen this happen so many times in your life where you musician just go crazy, going hard on this stuff, playing all over the place, and the soloist is trying to go. And now Nikki Ross was the best I ever seen at it. She actually changed keys in the middle of a song, and the organist couldn't follow her. And at the very last, she said F sharp, dun, and she sang her last note. It was brutal, it was petty, but it was magnificent. It was, listen, when I tell you, Nikki Ross, I love you, sweetheart, that was pure gold. That was pure gold, baby. Because you shut it down. She did her thing, changed the key. The keyboard player was so busy in his own world, he was going all crazy. And then at the end of it, she said F sharp, duh, and she sung her last note and sat down. You can't make this up. It was beautiful. It was petty personified. You understand what I'm saying to you? Nikki Ross, I love you. That I will never forget that. I was in Wisconsin when this happened. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. Now I'm headed to my close. We got 10 more minutes, and I'm gonna get this done. A friend of mine, there's been a debate going on about transposing. I'm a bass player. We don't have these problems. I'm going to talk about somebody tried to bring that in, but we don't have these problems. So if your friends who are transposers or are interested in this conversation, because this is the only one I'm going to have unless it turns into an explosive event and I need to pull people in. Now, if you want to join in, I'll open it up. I'm not trying to be here long, but if you want to join it, just say, hey, D, let me on or whatever, let me know, and I'll send the link. But it's been a conversation about transposing, and it's been one of the longest outside of musician pay. Musician pay, hats in church, and transposing probably the top 3 4. Musician pay, should we play secular music, hats in church, and transposing. These probably the 4 top church musician conversations. I think. I would think so. I got what I want to say about transpose. I'm not a keyboard player, so you can take it with a grain of salt, but I just want to offer a different perspective as it relates to that. And it all stemmed from Omniquan. We call him Omniquan. That's an inside thing. Why we call his real name is Raekwon Hayes. We call him Omniquan. If he's watching or he may see this, I want him to explain why the band at Powerhouse calls him Omniquan. But anyway, he left a post and it got traction, actually. It was a post that I've seen millions of times. But for some reason, Omni's post got traction. And he posted and it said this, yo, because he always says, yo, I'm sorry, but we need to take our craft seriously. We going viral, but transposing. No shade to no one. We all got to stop being lazy. God gave us a gift. It's up to us to polish it. So tired of this argument. People would just worry about their own crap to stop ranking people. So what? How does it affect you in any way? And I play all my keys. And playing all my keys. Okay, I get it. And I agree with you, Eric. I agree with you. It is by far one of the most debated conversations. I don't think I've ever really covered it. I think I might have said it maybe on a live in my car a long time ago before I even had a mic, a camera, and anything. But because it became such a thing and it brought so much attention, I just felt that I want to give my perspective on it. I really do. It's not my thing is really not an argument. It's just a different perspective. Well, it may not be different. But the people had something to say about it. Larry Reed had his thing to say. I don't know if he saw Omni's post, but they said learn to play in all them keys and stop transposing. And it's been a thing, Some people say you are being lazy. As Omni said, you're being lazy. You're not taking your craft seriously or whatever. And so people had their thing to say. Some people had some other things to say that probably would align with you, Eric, where he says, I'm going to transpose all my songs this Sunday on purpose. My check ain't going to change. What now? Right? I kind of disagree with that because there are some churches that won't hire you if you transpose. There are some churches that will not hire you if you transpose. Let me say that one more time. There are some ministries out here that will not hire you if you transpose. I am the musician director for Ricky Dillard New Generation Chorale, and I won't hire you if you transpose. I won't. And that's my standard. So you can say, well, it ain't gonna stop my check. In some regards, it will. And some people will. Why don't I want to transpose her? Because my arrangements and some of the arrangements that Quiet and I come up with may switch. And if we feel like you're going to be hampered because you got to go +1, +7, -6, if that's your thing, if you don't know how to play, this is not now, let me say this. This is not, my perspective is not necessarily for those people who can play in all their keys and choose to transpose. This is not for you. What up, Quentin? This is not for you. I'm talking about those people who cannot play. I'm still flabbergasted at people who can play in all their keys and still transpose. Maybe somebody can tell me, why would you want to do that? What reason would you have to transpose and you can play in all your keys, except for there's some things that maybe you can do from a creative standpoint in certain keys. Like, for example, if you do like this and you all on black keys, it make it chord. If you in one of those keys, I don't know, I don't play keys, but I'm pretty sure you could do this or whatever. Or if you hit all white keys, it could be a chord or whatever. Maybe I can see if it's for creative purposes, but if it's not, I'm still scratching my head on why you would want to transpose if you are able to play in all your keys equally. Like, no matter what key it is, you can do, it's easy to you. You can just still play it all, everything. But I find it hard pressed you would play a jazz gig and do that. None of the jazz gigs I've ever done could you, except for the smooth ones. Smooth jazz ones you can do. But them crazy, nah, I don't know. because they change keys too fast. And that's where my creativity comes in. Like when all the crazy new G lines and stuff, that the key changes and stuff like that, that's usually me. So over the years, if you hear a song that's doing crazy, like he turned it, that's my arrangement. Those arrangements that I do that switch and go to different keys or do different stuff just in a whim, those are my arrangements for the most part. And if it's not mine, it's Quad's. And sometimes it's Mike when Mike was around. But as of right now, me being MD, I get more creative control over the music presentation over that. And so I'm changing keys. I'm doing different things. And my mindset, even though I don't play keys, I don't want to be hindered. And for you to have, because the second I see you doing that and I'm trying to create something here, that's a problem for me. Now, if you can play in all your keys, then let's do it. I like the transpose button for creativity. I can see that. I mean, like I said, creativity, I get it. Creativity, I get it. But don't say it's not. And I love Bubba. You know, he cool dude. I don't know him personally, but he's on my friend list. I think he's a cool dude, right? But it is some gigs out here, especially even in church, they won't hire you if you transpose. They just won't hire you. They just have a thing against people who transpose. I just said, as MD, again, as MD of New G and MD at Powerhouse, if you transpose, I just won't hire you. I just won't. That's my preference. I don't want to hire you if you're a transposer, if you need it. If you need it. And so let me explain. I look at now, I'm a bass player. So you can take this with a grain of salt. I'm being fair. You can listen and you can not listen. But I've been playing gospel music for over 30 years. So I think I can speak on some things, right? I'm looking at it like this. This only goes to the ones that don't know how to play in all your keys. So you're using transpose as a way to get by. If you were to play basketball, you were in the NBA, or you were going to the NBA. I'm left-handed. I'm a left-handed basketball player. When I played left-handed. If everything I did went to the left, I finished with the left, I shot my left, my moves are to the left, no matter what, I would go left, right? You can get away with that in high school. You can get away with that maybe a little bit in college, maybe, because you're facing more zones than anything. You probably get away with it in the summer league and all that kind of junk. But when you get to the NBA, that's where the pros are. And they're going to expose the fact that you cannot go right. And wouldn't you want to learn how to go right and be just as fluent going left or right so you can maximize being the best professional? You make yourself more valuable. Nobody can key and lock you in, and you are able to learn different things that you may not have been able to do just going straight left. Now you got a crossover. You can do other moves. You can finish. You can go under the rim, finish with the right. I mean, it's just so many things. It opens up so many different possibilities. But you limit yourself if you just say, I want to go left. Perfect example. I don't know if y'all watch basketball. His name is Tony Kukoc. I'm a Bulls fan, so I know Tony Kukoc. Y'all like to say he was the greatest. Oh, Michael Jordan needed him. That's for my sports show. Not doing it today. But check this out. Tony Kukoc for the first 2 years, first maybe 3 years, he was pretty decent because he had Michael Jordan out there. But when Michael Jordan out there and he bounced around the league, everybody figured out one thing. Tony Kukoc couldn't go right. So with Michael Jordan, he was averaging double figures. When he went to Milwaukee, he didn't average double figures like that. He was useful, but not like that. Everybody figured out his game. I look at transposing in that regard. You are limiting yourself in what your possibilities could be if you needed to play. Transposing is more of a crutch than it is a help to you. You could actually open up your mind to a whole new level playing in different keys and knowing your keys, and other opportunities will be presented to you based off of your ability to play in all of your keys just as fluent. That's all people are saying. I don't think they are attacking people that can play in all their keys. This message is not for you. So you getting a lot of people to say, I can play in all my keys. That's wonderful. This is not for you. It is for those people who are using this tool and you are using it as a crutch, and you're not pushing yourself to be better musicians, pushing yourself to be better keyboard players, pushing yourself to be better professionals. Because the worst thing that can happen to you is if you get the gig that you really want. Yeah, we got this song and it's in one of those keys that you don't know, and you have to play this real piano for authenticity. Not a Nord, not a Yamaha, not none of those things. A real grand piano with no transposing in a key that you haven't prepared yourself for. We're going to pay you $30,000 to do this show, and you have to play in this key. You're not prepared. But you say God, you want God to open these doors for you, but you haven't prepared yourself to walk through those doors. That's all. I think that's what I'm looking at it at from that perspective. To present yourself and to prepare yourself for the better that's going to come your way. Why not do that? Now, if you one of those saying, hey, I'm just happy, I'm happy-go-lucky, I'm liking to play, I'm liking to do this, I'm not really trying to do this, I just enjoy playing, then great, do it. But if you have aspirations to be a great piano player or to travel the world or to explore other realms of music, then it is to your advantage to learn how to play in all your keys and not go to the transpose. It works out better for you. And that's me trying to encourage you. You know, if this is what you aspire to do, why not go to the next level? Why not? So people took what Raekwon said and they went personal. They took it personal. And some people actually, there was a live that went on, and when people were saying, you know, hey, you know, I could tell, I'm not even a keyboard player, and when I can actually tell when it is. There's some voicing that's weird when it's transposed. There's some voicing. I don't know. I'm not I know how to play a little bit now. I know how to play a little bit, but I'm not a keyboard player. But even I can hear it. And Jay Ant was actually on there. His name was School of Keys. I enjoyed the live. And Jay Ant could hear what I could hear. He's like, nah, I can tell. You can tell. And you can tell when somebody's not as fluent in those other keys as they are, especially in church. What in church is A flat, B flat, D flat, G flat, E flat. No, mostly all the sharps and flats. In gospel music, maybe C and F. But you start messing around with A, D, E, you go in B sometimes. If they're not thinking in the terms of you know, B is a relative of A flat. If they're not thinking of that, then yeah, B could be a problem. And so I just want us to all do better. I just want us to all become better musicians. If you are a musician that can play on all your keys, this is not for you. But somebody did lead this post, and I'm gonna lead with this. And this is why I'm talking about argument. We need to learn how to present good arguments. I don't even know this dude. I'm pretty sure he's a cool dude. I'm not talking about him. Please don't go and say he talked about you. No, I'm presenting his position. He said all this transpose controversy in the church music world. LOL. But y'all bass players tuning y'all basses in different keys, so y'all comfortable. Let me stop you. When I first started playing bass, I tuned that bass in C because it was a 4-string and I wanted that deeper note. So I tuned in C, it was a 4-string. And I did that so I can have a lower note. But make no mistake about it, you are conflating bass guitar, which is different. I tune the A now, but for majority of my professional playing career, I just tuned the A earlier this year, maybe a few months. I'm still kind of getting used to it. But I used to tune in B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, whatever. I used to tune that way. But now I'm tuning the A and I'm still getting used to it. Why did I tune the A? Because A feels better for on my neck. Pause. It's a better tension. And I like going to that A. It brings, for creativity, it brings a different element than B flat was. Because say for instance, if I'm actually in a key and I slide and do a note and hit that open A, it just drives Omniquine crazy. He loves it. But so to say we do it for comfortability, no. Gospel music, what I've learned early in my career, it required me to tune to flats because all the major keys were in flats and sharps. So I felt it'd be more strategic for me to move from standard and C with my 4-string move from that into flats and sharps to better align myself with the thing that was at that point gospel music. Gospel music all over the place now. It really don't matter what you tune as bass. It's gonna be everything now. But back then, when I was first learning how to play, most gospel music was in E flat, A flat, B flat, or D flat. Most of those were in F every now and then. But those were the major keys. So why not have an open string be one of the home notes for one of the songs? That's why I did it. It had nothing to do with comfortability. And then he said, y'all electric guitar players with capos and pedals. This is not a good argument, bro. The pedals is for creativity. You give Jonathan DeBose an electric guitar with just a pick, and he gonna run us out the room. He just that dope. Same thing with Bird, same thing with Jabari, same thing with Sharky, same thing with all of these people. There was a guitar player that played last night named, I think his name Mikhail or something like that. He plays at Bishop Jacobs Church. Amazing guitar player. He has pedals, but even without the pedals, he still can blaze because he's a dope musician. So you really didn't need it. Then he said, y'all singers with waves tune. Now, this is the one he hit on. This is the one argument. He could have just said, y'all singers with waves tune. The singers usually don't get involved in transposing arguments. But he's right. I think it was be auto-tune. I don't like waves tune. It's too complicated for me. But auto-tune and everything, he has an argument here. Because auto-tune is akin to transposing to me. So we align in that. He said, pick your battles, y'all. Everybody got their own way of figuring out. At the end of the day, there's still the sound that is produced. Have a good day. Some of y'all drummers got 8 cymbals on the kit and still losing the click. I don't know why that was presented as an argument. I really don't. But hopefully now you've seen my position on transposing. I just think that it is a long conversation. It's not going anywhere, Eric. It's going to be here forever. It's an argument that's going to be made, and as technology it continues to progress, it's still going to be a discussion. And I just think that it's always good to have healthy discussion about it. Hopefully you understood my heart and my perspective on it, and you can probably glean something from it. But if not, then it's cool. I just gave you my perspective because I have been seeing it all along, and I've been dealing with, personal family issues and business issues and everything else. So I really didn't have a chance to even speak on it. But this is my perspective on it. And so I hope you guys could hear my heart on it. And hopefully, if you have a different opinion, please leave it below. But my thing, it had nothing to do with people who already can play in all the keys. I think that's not an argument that I want to get in. If professional players, they don't worry about what the people beneath them are doing like that. So I was wondering why so many people who could play in all their keys would be so invested in somebody saying, learn all, don't transpose. If you're not a transposer, I don't really understand that. I just don't. But anyway, next week we have a great show for you. I want to talk about some. I'm not going to bring it in right now because I don't want to give it away. But it is going to be a really, really good show next week. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I enjoyed bringing it to you. More information. In case you didn't know, we are recording again in Cincinnati. I guess that's the place Ricky chose. It was an event that happened there, and he loved the response that he got there. So he decided on Cincinnati. I don't have a problem with it. I actually like Cincinnati. I got friends close to the area. My friends from Indianapolis can shoot over. It's not too far from there. So Cincinnati, September 9th. This recording will begin at 2 p.m. It's not a night recording. Now, those of you who are going to this recording, please listen to me. The church is a nice size. It is a nice size. It's a nice size church. That don't mean to show up to the church at 1:45. That line is going to be all the way back to Timbuktu. Get there in enough time where you can get you a good seat, and if you're sitting in general or even if you got VIP. Get there in enough time. No, I don't have tickets, and no, I can't get you backstage. But get there. Some of y'all wait till the last minute. You decide that I'm going to show up at 1:45, the recording start at 2. That's not going to work for you. You're going to be somewhere nosebleed, and you're going to be like, I can't hear. You're going to be holding your nose. It's going to be bleeding. What time does your show start? I was confused on the time. I normally try to go around 8:30. Because when I come in from work, I be having the last minute setups and stuff to do, making sure the cameras, everything. That takes a while. So I say around 8:30, I usually get going. Usually. Sometimes later. So you got to make sure you click on the notifications button. But anyway, if you come into our recording this September 9th, listen, we finna do some things. I can't let you hear none of the music and nothing, but I will be going live before our rehearsals next week. I'll be going live so you can see what we do, the band, how we set up and everything and everything like that. But when we get ready to start the music, I will be turning the camera off. And yes, there will be a live next Monday before I leave to go over, because we're not rehearsing here. We're rehearsing in Cincinnati for the session. So I'm going to do my live here. And then we're going to go over to Cincinnati. I may do some night recaps. I don't know. Let me see if I feel like breaking this stuff down and taking it with me. Yeah, let's see what happens. But I hope to see you at the recording. It's in Cincinnati, September 9th, 2:00 p.m. And when I tell you, listen, we about to church y'all, but we're about to do some things. We are about to do some things. New G is about to do some things, okay? If you want to have good time, a good service, good church time, you want to hear some good music, you want to listen, we're about to do some things. I'm telling you, I wish I could bring you in like in the band rehearsals, let you hear what we doing, but I can't. Can't. Is Razor playing? Nah, Do y'all have a new organist? His name is Marcus. Rashawn. He plays for some of everybody. Plays for Dietrich Haddon. He plays for Tyrese. He plays for a lot of people. That's the guy when y'all hear All of My Help and you hear the vocoder and the talk box, that's him. That's Marcus. He's playing organ. And he's doing the aux stuff. And so and Quiet, of course, is playing keyboard. I'm on bass. Brent's on drums. Bird is on guitar. We have been rehearsing already. The band has been rehearsing, so we kind of know what we're about to do. But when I tell y'all, if you come to this recording, you don't want to wait till we put the album out to hear. You want to be there because this about to be one. You know, it's my first New G recording where I actually am MDing. So I'm actually excited about that. I'm actually happy to have worked with Quad and worked with the band and everybody else, and getting this thing together. It's been a lot of work, but trust me, the music arrangements, they're not going to be like, oh, Chick Corea. Well, those of you who know me personally know it's going to be some stuff, but I tried to make the music arrangement so it's still church. I didn't go as far as I did when we did Keep Living, all those music arrangements, the wild stuff that you heard. Still kept a good element of stuff. You still some signature stuff. You know, I'm a band. I like jazz, so lines and dramatic offbeat stuff like that. That's my kind of arrangement. Yes, it's live. Did you say night? Yeah, I might do night. You know, when you come in and I do some, hey, this is what happened at this rehearsal. Me and Bird, we got into a fight. I won. You know, some junk like that. But I think you're gonna enjoy it. If you come to the live recording, you're gonna be like, yeah, they own it. And I try not to give you too much. I really can give you anything. But I think when I say I think you're gonna enjoy it, I really think you are. I think it's going to inspire a lot of musicians, to the ones that have been listening to us over the years. It's going to inspire you to say, okay, they definitely brought a mixture where we are going to push it a little bit musically, a little bit, but still keep the elements of church that keeps Ricky relevant in today's time. We still doing church, we still doing gospel, but some of the arrangements we got right now, they out there. They out there. Just so you know. So hopefully see you there. If you have any questions about it, hit my inbox. I love you guys, and I will continue to tell you I love you, because really, honestly, there's nothing you can do about it, because I'm gonna love you whether you don't like me. Hopefully you like me though, because I really like you guys. All right, well, I'll see you next week. Enjoy the rest of your evening.